Friends, good morning. Today in this presentation, I am going to discuss about a very important fact for anyone who is suffering from diabetes or hypercholesterol or hyperlipidemia or higher triglyceride, all these problems. If you see diabetes is a disease nowadays which is spreading across the world with its full force. Every few seconds, one new diabetic is diagnosed. So it is found that the moment one is diagnosed of having diabetes, immediately all kinds of sweet intake is being stopped for him. Even in the tea doesn't take sugar, no sweet food. But it's quite astonishing that in many of the cases of diabetes, despite of having a sugar-free diet, the blood sugar level doesn't come down. They are under insulin, they are under tablets for bringing the sugar down, but it doesn't happen. So it's quite surprising that we are not touching either sugar level, sugar or sweet even. Despite of that, why my blood sugar level is more? From where my blood is getting this so much of sweetness? So if you observe such people, they will have a fasting blood sugar level which is higher than the post-meal sugar. They check in the morning, the fasting sugar level, it will be higher. Then before breakfast, they will take the insulin or tablet. Then post-meal, when they check it, after 2 hours, then they found it is slightly lower than the fasting sugar, or it is not much higher than the fasting sugar. It maintains around the fasting sugar. So they wonder why it happens. Because I have not taken any sugar. So here there is another shy guy who is sitting in the back row of the classroom, which is responsible for bringing this turmoil in the blood. I'm introducing to you that shy guy who goes by the name of oil or fat, which is an essential component. Most of our food contain it every day, more than the required quantity. But we have never thought that it can contribute to bring up the blood sugar level. If you see the composition of oil or fat, then very minutest portion of this fat is called a glycerol, which is a sugar. But that cannot contribute, it's not a very huge quantity of sugar which can contribute to increase in the blood sugar level. So how then we can say that the oil can actively contribute to the increase of sugar? Yes, it doesn't actively, but it does it passively and very dominantly. There are two reasons why it happens. Any cooking oil or the fat during the heating process takes up the oxygen from the atmosphere and it releases components like carbon dioxide, ketone, free fatty acid, water, many things like that. So when we take a very high fat food, naturally the free fatty acid level gets increased in our blood. Simultaneously, this makes the liver insulin resistant. This is how the fat is linked with the sugar. How? Liver is an organ in our body which has the ability to move the glucose from the blood level into the cells. When we eat carbohydrate or etc., the glucose will get released to the blood. From the blood, it has to get distributed into the cells. So for that, it has to pass through the liver. Now the liver, for doing this task, it needs insulin to help it. But instead of insulin, if the free fatty acid is found more in the blood, then the liver becomes insulin resistant. Because in case of a diabetic, already the insulin level is less insulin is synthesized or less insulin is used from the pancreas, secreted from the pancreas. So the diabetic patient takes medicine, like in the form of injection, he takes insulin, or in the form of tablet. So that insulin is not sufficient for the fat digestion. That is why the increased free fatty acid level in the blood makes the liver insulin resistant. Number one reason. Number two reason is that the digestion process. Mostly our food contains carbohydrate and fat and some quantity of protein too. Now the carbohydrate digestion, it happens quickly. Within 2 to 3 hours of intake, it happens. But the fat digestion happens only after 5 to 6 hours of the consumption. The insulin, what a diabetic patient has taken prior to the food intake, that works during the digestion of carbohydrate for the 3-4 hours. After that, that doesn't remain active in the body. So when the fat digestion happens, there is no insulin available to help it digest it. So that is why in many of the diabetics, if they take a rich fat food at a dinner, next morning after 6 hours, when the fat level is, fat digestion is happening, that time when they see the blood sugar level, it is coming higher. So when you ask such patients, what did you eat yesterday night? No, doctor, I haven't eaten anything sweet. All I took is a fried rice with the dal tadka, with some kidney beans and some deep fried vegetables. So the cause is that the increased quantity of fat or the oil intake has contributed to the increased level of blood sugar level. Hence now it is a concrete rule for diabetics to have an oil-free food. First was the sugar-free food, second is the oil-free food. Not only for diabetics, it is applicable for all people who are having disordered liver. Liver function is altered. For them, this also is applicable. Now, how much oil can be used every day? For the urban people, those who do not have the more of physical exercise, the woman needs 1800 calorie and the man needs 2200 calorie. So you see, in an average, how our diet is providing this much of calorie requirement. I'll give you just approximate estimations, not the exact estimation. A dietitian can give you the exact estimation However, a general estimation I'll give you which is quite correct. 100 ml of oil that contains 884 calorie. You can round it to 900 calorie. If you compare 100 grams of vegetable, then that contains 65 calories only. So which one is superior, the oil or the vegetable? Now you see, if a person takes 100 ml of oil in a day for the various dishes, then half of the calorie requirement is over. In case of a woman, when we take 1800 calorie we need, out of which 900 calorie already we got from the oil. So another 900 calorie only is the requirement. Now just to imagine, you will be taking 3 times meal, breakfast, lunch and dinner, 3 times full-fledged food will be there. In addition to this, sometimes once or twice snacks you will be having. So all those 5 times of food has to contribute for another 50%, 900 calorie. Do you think it is a balanced diet? Cannot. If we consider about the Indian food style, approximately if we take the breakfast contains 300 calorie, lunch 600, dinner 600, 2 times snacks will contribute for 300 calories. I have taken out the tea. Tea intake, sugar-free tea has 100 calorie. With the sugar it becomes 200 calorie, 1 cup of tea. So I have excluded the tea. So if you consider about the food itself, it contributes to 1800 calorie. Then I have also not included the oil. Oil contributes another 900 calorie if you use 100 ml of oil, which is totally, absolutely unnecessary and additional calories to our food. So if we want to have an ideal diet, we do not want extra calorie, then we have to stick to this food pattern minus oil. We do not have to add the oil into our regular food, regular diet. It sounds quite difficult. Practically, it's very, very difficult to apply, particularly if you are following the Indian system of cooking. So I have brought for you 3 tips towards the solution, because whatever rules we say, it must be practical, otherwise nobody can follow it. Number 1 tip is that there are healthy ways of cooking, like steaming the vegetable or baking or cracking of the cereals, pulses, nuts. All these ways we can follow. So you can search in the net how to follow these things systematically. You can get plenty of ideas. The nuts and dals should be boiled only. If you fry it before boiling, some people for the good taste, they fry it first, the dal. Then the calorie value increases. So in Indian diet, dal is a must to be taken daily. So 1 or 2 bowls of dal the Indians every day take. So 200 calorie you can get if it is a boiled dal from 1 bowl, but if it is fried, then it becomes 900 calorie. Now coming to the particular usage of the oil. The oil is advisable in the quantity of 10 ml per day. That is 2 teaspoonful per day per person. That case you can say that if there are 2 people in the family, then per month you can use 750 to 1 liter of oil. So this oil, instead of putting in the heated pan, if you put the oil in a heated pan, then the smoke comes and the component of the oil, the fat component itself, that gets deviated, some other components which are not good for health that generates. So instead of putting it in the heated pan, we can use it for dressing of the food. After the food is cooked, on top of the food you can put the required quantity of oil just for the dressing. So the flavor of the oil remains and taste also up to some extent it brings. Now the final important point is that the people ask me, doctor, why don't you advise a proper diet plan for all of us? How much we should eat, how many chapatis, how much rice, how much vegetable we should eat. So that is quite an abstract term. Even in the social media posts, many people post that you drink warm water every day for such and such quantity for such and such days. Your diabetes will get cured in such so many days. Migraine gets cured so many days. Similarly, you drink green tea, your sugar level will come down in so days. So these are quite abstract terms which I strictly advise people not to follow. Everyone's body capabilities are different than the other. Every individual is different from other. For some people, the warm water is good, that brings out the toxins well, while for some others it brings terrific side effects like boils, like hemorrhoids, piles, and burning of the chest. Many things happen. Similarly, green tea also, you cannot advise everybody to drink. If there are some people who are already having a lower sugar level in their body, the rate of metabolism is more in their body, they start taking this, then they start getting the giddiness. Sometimes some people faint because of this. And weakness, fatigue, lower leg muscle cramping, all that comes because of regular intake of green tea for them. Similarly, people suggest in the media that lemon water, every day if you drink lemon water in the morning, it's good for stomach and all. So anybody cannot follow that. Some people who are in the habit, who started using this thing as habitually, the drinking of lemonade or lemon in the morning, they started developing mouth ulcers after a week or 10 because the citric acid doesn't suit them. So it is a quite abstract term that what an individual should eat and what he should not eat. Similarly, the quantity, how much you should eat, it depends upon your rate of metabolism. So that also I cannot quantify it. However, it is a common phenomena that the oil intake contributes to the increase in the calorie level and thereby it contributes to the increase in the blood sugar level. Hence, it is required that all the people, whoever suffers from such diseases, they must avoid the oil. Initially, it may take few days to make a practice of cooking without oil, but I am sure that if we try for few days, then definitely we will get the success. And those who are following it, it is found that not only the weight reduction but also the other parameters of sugar, cholesterol, lipid, etc. are coming down. So with this I remain. Further details you can get in my website drmeeta.com, or the regular health informations you can see in my Facebook link, Dr. Meeta Clinic. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me.